Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 508. It's Thursday, May 9th, 2013, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, Internet Talk Radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on Earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. Plus, we bring you the segment MASTERPOD THEATER, where we hear an interesting production involving a mouth and a fat.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And Amazon is developing a smartphone with a 3D screen. How about that?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like a holograph, and you wouldn't need glasses to see the three-dimensional effect. Users may be able to navigate through content using their eyes and not a pet or a mouse. What the hell am I talking about? And you know, they come up with this thing that they can listen to music and you can shout. I don't need my radio anymore because you can listen to this thing that streams music like Pandora.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
This is something that they're using to compete with Pandora and Apple's iTunes. It's like a Wi-Fi device. I like Angora.
Mike's
I'm like that guy
Daily
from that movie with Johnny Depp.
Podcast.
Ed Wood.
Yeah.
No. Actually, I kind of just stick to Cotton. Look who just walked in. Hello, Michael Matthews. Madame Rootabega. Ooh, Rootabega. Did you just say hello, Michael Matthews? This is Madame Rootabega. Maybe. Do you like Angora? I love the Angora food. It is so soft. And do you love Amazon? I have been there a couple of times, but no, I don't like the Amazon because ordering things and waiting for them to show up is very annoying. Why? Because when I want it now. You want instant gratification. That is the best kind. Well, you know what? To each his or her own. Exactly. And I don't like it because of the piranhas. I'm assuming we're talking about the place and not the computer site. There's a place called the Amazon? Look who else just walked in.
Mike, this is Valentino.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Do you guys use the computer a lot?
I don't use Facebook except for when I am watching a football, baseball, or a basketball game day.
Oh, so you're a play-by-play poster.
Yeah, that's what I do. I am never on the internets unless I am watching a game, and then I funnel all of my anger at the things I am seeing on the television screen through the Facebook day.
Yeah, and then he yells at me and throws the cell phone at my head and it hurts. Do you know that? Posting through your smartphone onto Facebook, that must be a Mark Zuckerberg dream, that he's now as important as all the media that shows the sports that has all the men glued to them.
I don't know what this Zuckerberg thing is you're talking about there, but I like posting when I'm watching a game.
Yeah, it's fun to get our aggressions out. Do you know that? Ow, that part of my head where he keeps throwing the cell phone at hurts.
No pain, no gain. Mark Wahlberg and Don Johnson are great.
It's Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Don Johnson's better day.
No, it's to each his or her own. Michael Matthews, you look so much more well-rested since you did this weekend. Why is that? Because around my house in Podcastro Valley, there was so much noise this weekend. This past weekend. It was this past weekend was the weekend where people decided to do all of their home improvement stuff. It was all those Home Depot and Lowe's commercials finally had their effect, and people were working on their houses, and it was loud. It was bang, bang, big trucks, and it was Grand Central Station around my house, but not a quiet weekend at all around my house. That is too bad.
Yeah, Mike, we don't care.
You could have thrown a cell phone at somebody's head. No, that's not what I do. Your loss. Do you know that? Thank you, Bison. Well, you know, you can tell me if you are excited about the new 3D phone that Amazon is working on, or their new streaming-only device, audio device, which will compete with radio, Pandora, and Apple's iTunes. It does require a Wi-Fi, so that is not always wherever you are, obviously, is the Wi-Fi. So it'll be interesting to see how it works. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you would like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. And check out the website, mikesdailypodcast.com, where we have the blog and the daily podcast picture, as well as links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. If you subscribe to us there, why more people find out about us and you find out about the latest show when we come up with one at iTunes. Subscribe to us there. It's so wonderful. Also, we have links to where to find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Yelp. And what? SoundCloud and Spreaker.com. All great places to listen to this show on. Find them all at mikesdailypodcast.com, as well as the Amazon deal of the day. Whoop! What? Amazon got another plug on today's show? Well, we're not seeing any money from it. They just somehow have decided to, infiltrate all news everywhere today. But coming up with a smartphone with 3D is pretty cool. I don't think that will be on the Amazon deal of the day, though, since it's going to be a while before that comes out, according to the Wall Street Journal online. But you can still find out what the fantastic Amazon deal of the day is at our website, mikesdailypodcast.com, if you are surfing the internet on your desktop or laptop, mikesdailypodcast.com.
Mike's Daily Podcast MasterPod Theater.
The Mike's Daily Podcast Players present
The conversation Mike's body has with him when he goes to work out.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to do some pull-ups, some push-ups, sit-ups, lift some weights, do some burpees.
Mike, I wouldn't do that.
Who's that?
It's your body. I'm the one you need to talk into doing all those aforementioned activities, especially burpees. Are you really going to drink a soda before working out?
No, body. Burpees are when you, starting from a standing position, jump down to do a push-up, then jump up and clap your hands. I touch the ceiling since my living room is too low.
That's ridiculous. What a complete waste of time. By the way, my name's not Body.
Oh, what is it?
It's Satan.
What?
Just kidding. No, my name is not Body. It's Louis C.K.
What, the comedian?
Yes, I am named after the funniest man on earth.
Why?
Have you taken a look in the mirror lately?
Okay, that's disturbing.
Let it inspire you to mold your body into the temple you want it to be.
Okay, I will, Louis C.K.
Best show ever.
Never seen it. Listen, the sooner I get this workout started, the sooner I get this over with.
Fine. You're just doing all those exercises once, right? And then we go eat Toledo schnitzel.
What? When was the last time we ate there? Seriously, marriage did one good thing for me. It taught me not to eat there anymore.
Yeah, when you were single, you ate there like it was your kitchen, but with really unhealthy food everywhere.
Yes, but I do love those A-frame standalone Der Wiener Schnitzel buildings.
Why did you just say that?
Because if that did have to be my own kitchen, I would want it to be in such a nifty-shaped building.
Okay, fine. So you're doing all those exercises once, and then we're done.
No, we do them 3 times. 3 sets, if you will.
What the f***? Are you crazy? We'll never eat junk food at this rate.
That's right, Louis C.K. Remember, I don't want to be him, right?
Why not? He's friends with Chris Rock.
That's fine. I wouldn't mind being as well known as him, or even just plain known. But I don't want to be that fat 40-something. I aspire for healthiness and fewer roles.
Be that way.
With your help, hopefully I will.
Well then, let's get to it. Do we burp first?
No, burpees come a little later, once we've warmed up a little. What music do you want to listen to?
Anything but Bonnie Bear.
Well, we agree on one thing. You have been listening to MasterPod Theater and the Mike's Daily Podcast Players production of
The conversation Mike's body has with him when he goes to work out.
brought to you by the new movie Iron Man 3 in theaters everywhere and reducing people's eyeballs into overstimulated glazed over orbs of dust everywhere.
Yeah, that movie's big. That's for sure. As we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture is a drawing that I did about a conversation Valentino, the parking attendant, and I had.
Yeah, it had to do with guys that are bald, that have goatees, that look like Mike.
That's right. And they're all over Podcastro Valley, California. In fact, a neighbor of mine down the street, he sometimes gets confused for me and vice versa when we're walking our dogs. In fact, one time I was walking elsewhere in Podcastro Valley away from my home, and a lady stops her car and says to me, "What are you doing in my neighborhood?" And I looked at her, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Oh, wait, I thought you were someone else." And then she drives off. And I'm like, "Oh, great. I have a generic look." Exciting. Middle-aged men that are bald with goatees. So I call them bald tees. And the cartoon goes on from there. So check it out at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Michael Marshall, it is good that you walk your dog because having a pet might lower a person's risk of heart disease, according to an article on UPI.com.
Oh, yeah. They were saying the American Heart Association released a scientific statement that pet ownership is probably associated with a reduction in heart disease risk factors and an increased survival among patients. But the studies aren't definitive and do not necessarily prove that the owning a pet directly causes a reduction in heart disease risk.
What did you say?
That I have a hard time conning my body into working out.
That is what I thought you said.
Mike, what I'm going to do right now is go on Facebook and post all the things that I am thinking about. No, wait a minute. It doesn't have to do with a football, baseball, or basketball game, so I will not do that day.
Yeah, we don't talk about our feelings on Facebook. Like, oh, my husband did something nice for me today. Do you know that?
Or, what a beautiful morning. The birds are chirping. I don't post stuff like that.
I see. So it has to do with sports if you're going to post something.
Exactly.
There you go. The big differences between the sexes, males and females, and posting on Facebook.
Another difference is you see a lot more men with goatees that are bald.
That happens to be true, too. Tomorrow we will bring you the segment, The Bottom of the Charts. Plus we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. The interview that we were going to do with the band The Good Listeners has been postponed till next week. They're really busy guys.
Michael Marshall, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to yell at them.
Please don't do that.
I won't.
You promise?
Maybe.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.